Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So the time has finally come for me to break my silence on MetaZoo. I'm sure a lot of you that are subscribed to this channel probably found me through my MetaZoo content. I originally started this channel as a MetaZoo channel, and I've produced a lot of content from MetaZoo. I'm going to show you my channel here in a moment because I'm sure a lot of you that are stumbling across this video for the first time are here because of the MetaZoo drama, right? But I feel like MetaZoo is at a tipping point and a breaking point right now, and there are some things that need to be addressed that can be hard for some people to say. A lot of the people that have a voice within MetaZoo are tied up within MetaZoo, meaning they're partner stores, they have some sort of connection to MetaZoo that they don't want to soil. And I feel like some of us that have a platform here on YouTube need to use our voice to essentially say what other people want to say, but can't really say because they may destroy their ability to sell or stream or do live rips on whatnot or YouTube or their own platform or what have you. So I want to talk about certain things about MetaZoo and kind of just get some things off my chest as well, and talk about why I haven't made any MetaZoo content for the past half a year. So let me just show you guys something first, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, well, this guy, he's not really a supporter of MetaZoo, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So let me show you this first. This was sent to me by MetaZoo, like a month ago or whenever they started sending these out. This is a supporter medal. These are cards that MetaZoo will send out to people, such as content creators, people that post stuff in their Discord. They have varying levels. There's a bronze tier level, there's a silver tier level, there's a gold tier level. I received the silver tier level. This tended to go out to content creators, and they didn't specifically say what I did to receive a medal. It's sort of their way of saying, hey, thank you for supporting MetaZoo. Here's a free card. They're kind of hard to get. And I was kind of taken aback by it. I had never originally started making MetaZoo videos to receive any kind of recognition from them. I never expect free product. I've never received free product from them. That's the only thing they've ever sent me to say, hey, thanks. But it was around this time where my support of MetaZoo is starting to be soiled. But let me just show you really quick. Here's my channel, right? Because I'm sure a lot of you won't take the time to check my channel, but so I'll show you. As you can see, I'm sorting by oldest first here. I'm still, relatively small on this channel. I do have a larger channel for video games, which has 114,000 subscribers. So this is sort of like my little offshoot channel that I kind of keep on the down low and do for fun. It's not meant to be some kind of side gig or something. I just do this for fun. So I started off, as you can see, this is actually from my Twitch stream. I uploaded the video. This was a video that I made for YouTube, but I actually have streamed MetaZoo on my Twitch channel as well. I'm a partner Twitch streamer. I have, what am I up to now? 30,000 followers on there or something. Nothing crazy, but I have streamed MetaZoo on there and shown my audience that has never seen MetaZoo before, tons and tons of people MetaZoo around the time when Seance came out. And this is kind of the layout I was using for that with the flames in the background and everything. But this is how I started my channel. As you can see, I am more of an unboxing channel. I've done a lot of unboxings to start. I avoided, talking about any kind of news. It was really just open the product, enjoy it. And I really enjoyed MetaZoo product. As you can see, I was just doing all different types of content for MetaZoo, and I was really enjoying it. Wasn't getting caught up in any of the drama, just kind of opening for fun. But my videos for MetaZoo on YouTube have received about 25,000 views across 37 videos. And I do branch off into other stuff, but there's a video here. This is where I was starting to get a little soured on MetaZoo. Seance. We'll get to that in a moment. That's where I started losing a little faith in MetaZoo and the way the company was being run. And I do want to say, this video will feel a little negative, but it's not a let's bash MetaZoo, let's just completely drag them under the rug. View this video more as constructive criticism, where, we kind of just need to talk about some things going on with the company right now. I still love MetaZoo. I hope it has a good future, right? I'm still looking forward to the online TCG client, which I'm eagerly awaiting an invite to so I can finally start playing the game. I have hopes for Legacy and War, but right now there are some things that need to be said. And if, most people are not allowed or don't really want to say these things, I feel like I need to say them for them. So, all right, just this is what I wanted to show, right? I was very into MetaZoo, right? I got my whole MetaZoo hat on, my shirt, I was going full in MetaZoo. And this is the video here that I think got me the supporter medal. It's a video I made called The Beginner's Guide to Collecting MetaZoo in 2023. Got over 5,000 views 9 months ago. A lot of people left comments on this video saying that this video really helped them. They're going to get into MetaZoo now and all kinds of stuff. So I really think this video here is what I should be attributing my supporter medal to. And then, you know, we did more MetaZoo, but this video here, okay, so this is a video I did called MetaZoo's Calm Before the Storm, still with my MetaZoo hat on, where I went over the roadmap. Let's show the roadmap real quick. And I do want to get into the Hello Kitty drama and everything, but we need to show this first, because this is like the basis for the kickoff of the reason why I'm making this video. So this is the roadmap that they released for 2023, and it had this whole layout here of all things that were supposed to come and the date. And a lot of these things I talked about in this video, MetaZoo's Calm Before the Storm, I was all hyped up. I'm like, this is why you need to be excited for MetaZoo. That's why 2023 is the year of MetaZoo. And I put myself in a video. How long is this video? A 22-minute video just talking about all the cool things that were coming from MetaZoo in 2023. So it feels really bad when almost everything in this roadmap was either significantly delayed, like significantly, or just never happened and pushed off the face of the earth with no explanation, no apology. And you want content creators to make content for you, but how are we supposed to make content for you when we can't even reliably provide accurate information? Everything is changing. Everything is overpromised and underdelivered. And I think this is why MetaZoo content creators are kind of dwindling off, because how can you make content when everything is pretty much just like tentative? Nothing is concrete, set in stone. It's really hard. I don't want the main focus of this video to be on this, because it has been covered by many other channels that are still, you know, covering this kind of stuff. But there are a few main things in here. Let's see here. The MetaZoo streamer kits. All right. Actually, before we get into all this, because there is something, I want to cover this actually in a moment, because there is something even more drastically wrong right now in MetaZoo, and I actually wanted to start the video with this. Let's revisit this roadmap in a moment, because we can spend way too much time in this roadmap. We need to show something else first, okay? And this is the main reason why I have reached my tipping point with MetaZoo right now, and I think they're making a grave mistake. And I think this is going to really push away a lot of their content, not content creators, but, well, maybe content creators. It's going to push away a lot of their partners and streamers. Like, I don't know what they are thinking, but we need to talk about this. So for those of you that are not in the know, MetaZoo has recently partnered with Sanrio for a Hello Kitty set, and they just recently released a booster box for Kuromi's Cryptid Carnival. Me personally, I have absolutely no interest in Hello Kitty cards. I have no interest in Sanrio, none of this stuff. I'm happy for the people that are into it. It is not for me. But here's the thing, and this is why this Hello Kitty set affects everybody involved with MetaZoo, is because this thing launched for $300. Just yesterday, it has been cut in half, and this came out recently. This just pretty much is starting to ship today, or actually arrived to people today when making this video. So how this set worked is originally booster boxes were sold individually by partners for MSRP, maybe slightly above. MSRP on a individual booster box for this set was $140. Partners would sell it at $140. Maybe they give you a little bonus, like a promo card that maybe, you know, has their name stamped on it, or something along those lines. And maybe you pay shipping, maybe you don't, maybe you pay tax, maybe you don't. But essentially the price of this will be somewhere in the realm of $140, $150 when all is said and done for one booster box. They're buying it from distributors for about $70 to $75, maybe $80, but on average, it's like $70 to $75 for them to buy it and then sell it to you. Prices on this right now have dropped. Here's TCGPlayer to about $75 with shipping included. So if you're a partner, a streamer, and you're paying your distributor, if you're getting distributor prices, if you're paying them $75 to get the box, you are now selling it at a loss or breaking even, because you have to account for fees, you have to account for shipping. Partner stores and anybody looking to sell MetaZoo is now selling this at a loss almost immediately after it has come out. This is not something completely new with MetaZoo. Native didn't really suffer such a big dip at first because, you know, it was actually holding decently strong, even though they weren't selling a lot of boxes. But this is pretty drastic. And this is really bad, and I think a slap in the face to MetaZoo partners and people that rip and ship boxes on like Whatnot or other streaming platforms and try and make a little bit off of their hobby selling MetaZoo packs. I don't do this, full disclosure. I do not rip and ship. I don't sell. I am just a collector. So this personally does not affect me, but it may start to affect all of us when all of MetaZoo partners start dropping out because they just can't keep up with this market. So let's just break this down for those that are unaware. Booster boxes come out a couple of weeks ago, 140 MSRP. Let's just say that you're one of those people where you bought a single box for MSRP, 140, let's say $150 when all is said and done with shipping or taxes, if there was any. How would you feel if 2 weeks later, this collector set that you thought was $300, which comes with 2 booster boxes and a couple of promo cards, how would you feel if no joking here, I mean, this thing is superior. You're getting a really cool magnetic collector box. You're getting some really nice promo cards, a couple of other little goodies in here. How would you feel if the single booster box that you bought for 150 or 140, if couple weeks later, I don't know whose hand does it play here, whether this was MetaZoo's decision or TCGPlayer / eBay's decision to be like, hey, listen, we got to slash the price of this by 50%. So now, instead of being able to get 1 booster box at MSRP, you can now freely, this is not a limited time sale. I mean, this is probably permanent here because they have thousands of these things to sell through, and they've only sold 646 as of the time I'm making this video. You can now get 2 booster boxes with promo cards, with a really cool magnetic collector case and other little things like dice and coins or whatever for the same price that you paid for your single non-collector, booster box that you bought. Now, to be clear, as of right now, these booster boxes that are included are not known to be having any better hits or any different cards, and I sure hope they don't. And the reason for this is, how would you also feel if you bought in heavily or just like a box or 2 or 3 to the first booster boxes, and then you come to find out that not only can you get 2 of these boxes, but these boxes are superior in that they have better hits, or there's a new serialized card. You're going to feel really beaten down as a collector. Not even just as a collector, but even as a player, you're going to feel kind of bad about it, right? So from the buyer standpoint, this is not the greatest thing because people that bought into this originally are going to start losing even more faith in MetaZoo because, well, why buy product at launch day pre-order when the new trend is going to be, hey, if we can't go through all of our pre-orders, we're just going to slash the prices by 50% in our collaborations and our booster boxes. This is something new for MetaZoo, right? Like, to be clear, MetaZoo doesn't release a box at 140 MSRP and then 2 weeks later on their official website they're slashing the price by 50% or anything like that. Actually, they're very bullish about keeping partners at MSRP. They really don't want them to dip their prices down too low at the launch of these products. But this, I guess because it's partnered with TCGPlayer might have came to them and said, look, you had us make 7,000 of these, which is what the original stock was showing for this on like TCGPlayer itself before they kind of like hid that, I think, or reduced that number. But let's just assume let's lowball here and say there's like 3,000 of these instead of 7,000. They probably said, look, these things are not moving. We need to get rid of these. We're slashing the price by 50%. Maybe MetaZoo had some pushback on it. Maybe they said, no, we can't do that. That's going to destroy our secondary market with our partners and our streamers. And TCGPlayer was like, look, we got to get rid of these things. They're not moving. Who knows what the story is? We'll probably never know. But think about it this way. This screws over partners and streamers. Why would you buy a box, which, to be clear, a lot of partners right now are not selling Kuromi boxes at 140. They're selling them at like 85, 90, whatever they're charging for them. But why would you pay, say, $85, $90 for a single booster box? Like if you were to buy 2 of those, that's going to cost you more than you would pay for this collector's edition, which comes with more stuff. So MetaZoo is essentially pushing people away from buying from their partner stores, and people that do rip and ships like streams or maybe open a few individual packs on Whatnot, they tend to charge a bit more too because they have a lot of fees they got to cover. They got to cover shipping. So how are they going to move products when, something like this is so cheap? It's going to be really hard for them. Why, MetaZoo? Why would you do this to your partners and streamers? I don't understand. It's going to make them lose faith in you and maybe stop working with you in the future for those that still remain. There's one like partnered store that does rips and ships that I follow where like the prices that they're charging, they were having trouble moving at the prices like at launch. I noticed, I'm not going to name the store, I don't want to drag anybody through the mud, but they were having trouble moving these packs and boxes when this first launched. I don't know how the heck they're going to do it now with this thing being available on eBay. So I don't want to hinge upon this too long. I think this whole Hello Kitty thing has kind of, man, I don't know what to think of this thing. It's moving MetaZoo in a direction that I don't think anybody ever foresaw. It pretty much pushed everything else they were working on like into the future. We don't even know when anything's coming now on that roadmap, all because of Hello Kitty. They saw an opportunity to do a collaboration with Hello Kitty. They took it. You know, Sanrio is one of the biggest brands in the world. But here's one of the points that I wanted to make is, think of it this way. Everybody's like, okay, when Hello Kitty comes out and partners with MetaZoo, it's going to blow up MetaZoo. All the Sanrio collectors are going to come flooding in to MetaZoo. You know, yes, there's a couple of Sanrio influencers that have opened a box of this on their Instagram accounts or something with a couple hundred thousand subscribers. But think of it this way. I cover video games, like, right? You can tell from my background. I cover video games. Let's go full screen here. I cover video games, right? Like, I'm mainly a video game content creator. When I make a video highlighting a new game or a new product or whatever have you, does it have influence on that game potentially? I mean, very little, right? Like, I'm not a huge content creator, but I'm like mid-sized, I guess you could say, this day and age. But the thing with the video games, there's so many of them. There's a vast array of games. People have so many choices when it comes to what they spend their money on. And I think the same thing is true for Sanrio. Look at Sanrio. Yes, Sanrio influencers will be showing MetaZoo cards. They're going to look at it and be like, oh, that's cute. I don't know what any of these cryptids really are. Or, oh, I don't know who Sam Sinclair and that character. I don't know who those characters are. It's cute. But you know what? Money's really limited right now. And I think I'd rather buy Sanrio and Hello Kitty and Kuromi plushes and toys and keychains and whatever else have you, because guess what? There's, just like in the video game world and other hobbies, there are tons and tons and tons of Sanrio Hello Kitty merchandise out there. So they might look at one of their influencers opening up a box of MetaZoo and be like, that's cute, but I'm not really in the cards. The target audience for Hello Kitty is predominantly female. And history has shown that female audiences are not typically in the trading cards. So most of them are just going to look at these cards and be like, cool. And then go on eBay and buy 10 Hello Kitty plushes. Okay. So I think they missed the mark with this Hello Kitty set, as evidenced by the price drop, as evidenced by just the general lack of a boom when it comes to MetaZoo that a lot of people were predicting with this set. And it also hosed over existing MetaZoo fans because, well, now we've missed out on sets like Legacy and War getting pushed back because of this. Before we move on to other stuff, I want to address another major... This is going to be a bit of a longer video. Like, there's a lot I got to get off my shoulder here and talk about. MetaZoo has recently lost a ton of artists. I'm not going to get into any of the drama or speculation with it. All you guys need to know is there were about 11 main artists working on MetaZoo cards. You know, the sort of like hand-drawn watercolor style, slightly dark and sinister. Some, you know, certain artists have a bit more of a darker style than others, but 7 of the 11 main artists have left. We don't know the details. They have apparently left on their own, all at the same time within 1 week span. They're just like, we're leaving MetaZoo. We're on to different ventures. Now, this has been spun in different ways where it's like, oh, well, card games lose artists all the time. It's like a rock band, you know, members come and go. It's different from MetaZoo. Let's be real here. We didn't get into MetaZoo, or at least I would like to think most of us, yes, there will be people out there that got into MetaZoo because of the Cryptid theme. But let's be honest here, a lot of us got into MetaZoo because we liked the art. We actually liked the artists. MetaZoo, unlike something like Magic or all these other TCGs where people would say like, oh, artists come and go, which is true. They do come and go, not all in the same week. You don't lose more than half of your art team all in the same week. Something weird's going on here, but let's not get into the speculation aspect. What I'm trying to say here is MetaZoo is art. The art and the artists were MetaZoo. Most people really like MetaZoo because they like the style, they like the spin that the artist would bring. And losing a ton of the core members, especially a lot of the core members that worked on the darker art in sets like Seance, where you have a lot of the darker cards and stuff, as MetaZoo is shifting into this like more kid-friendly tone, losing all of those artists was a bit of a big blow. You got to remember, MetaZoo is a card game where when they would have conventions and events, people would go specifically to meet the artists, have them get their cards signed. Like, it was an event. Like, the artists were intricately entwined with MetaZoo. So once these artists left, people understandably got a little worried, and then MetaZoo put out a call that, hey, if you do fan art for us for our upcoming fan art set, that will probably be delayed until 2025. We are, looking to hire some people out based off of your fan art. So you mean to tell me that somebody that submits, and they're looking for all artwork here, they're not just looking for watercolor style. They were like, hey, you can build stuff out of blocks or do wood burning. So you mean to tell me that if you were to hire somebody that makes art out of building blocks, that person, if they win the fan art contest, will be hired by MetaZoo? Because they said the 5 finalists will get a job position at MetaZoo as an artist. So are we completely changing the art direction of MetaZoo for the foreseeable future? Is it no longer going to be that sort of like Pokemon-esque watercolor looking art style? Like, what are we dealing with here? This feels very uncertain, like the future art direction of MetaZoo. I have full confidence that they will hire amazing artists. There's some amazing artists within the the community. I think they will pick some really great artists, but it does leave a very sour taste in your mouth when, almost, some of my favorite artists are still left. Jet Yates, I love her art. Like her cards in MetaZoo are awesome. She's still with them. But when you lose a ton of fan favorite artists that are essentially the lifeblood of MetaZoo, it's understandable when people get upset about like what's going on. And it's all NDA'd, so we'll probably never really know what really happened. If you want to know the speculation and the drama on that, you'll have to look elsewhere in like Discord or something, but we won't go there. All right, so let's get back on track. This video is going to be so long. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay, so let's see. I do have a little list here on the side, so I don't forget to talk about. Oh yes, the roadmap. Here it is. All right, so the roadmap. There's a lot of stuff in here which never came through. Let's start with the darn streamer kits. MetaZoo. What the heck is going on with these things? We pre-ordered them in February. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, streamer kits was something that people pre-ordered in February. It was $100. It was supposed to come with some exclusive packs for Native to promote Native, some like acrylic stands, a playmat, yada, yada, yada. Essentially, it was a product that we were paying $100 for to help promote MetaZoo. It's essentially what it is. It's stuff that you would get, and if you're the type of person that's like doing live breaks or you're doing videos or whatever, you'd have like the playmat in the background, you'd have the little stand for the cards. Essentially, we were paying MetaZoo to help promote MetaZoo is what these things were. They were supposed to come out in, well, first of all, according to this roadmap, it was supposed to happen in January. That never happened. The pre-order happened in February, and then I think they were supposed to come out in April or something like 2 months later, but we never got anything. It is now almost the end of 2023. Not only have we not received our streamer kits, but there's been radio silence, and this is my number one complaint with MetaZoo right now, and I think it is one of the most crucial things that they need to fix. Listen, MetaZoo fans love MetaZoo. We are okay with delays and things being set back and not coming out when they're supposed to, but you need to be more communicative. You need to be more apologetic. You need to be more transparent. It doesn't fly to have a pre-order for something in February and then tell us a couple of months, 3 months down the line that, hey, this is essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, but they said, yeah, we haven't shipped Native streamer kits yet because something is still missing, or there was like a problem in manufacturing for one of the items. It'll be coming soon, TM. And that's it, right? Let me do the work for you here, okay? Are you guys ready? I'm going to role play a MetaZoo PR person, which, first of all, MetaZoo has a YouTube video or YouTube channel where they do not put any content out. Essentially, it's a dead channel. How are they not capitalizing on a YouTube channel? You can post videos and then upload them to your Facebook, your Discord, your Twitter, what have you. They don't utilize it. They need a PR person. They need to hire somebody that uses the YouTube channel to make a video once a week, once every month, whatever have you, to address things like this. So let me give you a role play example of the type of short 2-minute, 1-minute video that they could release on their YouTube channel to help appease fans and settle, the smoke that is essentially going on. So here we go. Hello guys, and welcome back to the MetaZoo channel here. Listen, there's been a lot of people understandably upset that there is a delay with the Native streamer kits. Unfortunately, one of the components of the streamer kit is having some trouble in production. We don't want to tell you guys what it is because we don't want to ruin the surprise. I wish we can tell you, but trust us, it'll be worth it. We're going to make this up to you and include like an extra couple of goodies in your streamer kits. We know that you're upset. This was a kit that was supposed to come out and help you guys hype up and get excited for native, for all of you streamers out there, aspiring streamers, existing streamers, content creators. We understand your frustration, but please bear with us. We promise that when we can provide an update, we will. And please stay patient. Your kits will arrive to you. If any of you need a refund, by the way, like there are, we know there's some of you that have bought almost a dozen of these things. Listen, if you need a refund, please contact customer support. We'd be happy to process that for you and get you a refund back. But for those of you that are willing to be patient, thank you for your patience. We promise that the native streamer kits will go above and beyond your expectations. And thank you for your patience. Right? What's so hard about that? They don't do videos like this. They don't, even in text, they do not apologize for the streamer kit delay. They don't say anything like that. They just say soon, TM. They just say something's missing. It'll, come eventually. It's things like this that make people lose faith in MetaZoo. I have one pre-ordered. There are people that have way more pre-ordered, and I bring up the refund thing because they have something on their site where it's like after 30 days you can't ask for a refund on a product, even though they've failed to meet their deadline of shipping this thing by like almost 8-9 months or so, which I think, I'm sure there's ways you can get past that when you threaten legal action. But, what's so hard about that? Let's address another thing that they should have apologized for. And this is the moment where I started to get a bit worried about the future of MetaZoo. You guys know I put out tons and tons of videos opening MetaZoo Seance. I got into MetaZoo when UFO kind of came out and you can get boxes for like $40 a box, maybe $50 a box. I was really hyped for Seance because I'm like, oh man, this is going to be the first new product main set launch that I'm going to be involved with MetaZoo. I went a little overboard. I bought a lot of stuff from partners. Shoutouts to, Argos. I got a lot of Seance through him. And what ended up happening with Seance is it ended up being mappable. And what I mean by mappable is you would open, so for example, this booster box, little fact here, I actually recorded a video similar to this one where I was opening this box of Seance. I wasn't showing my face or anything. I was just opening the packs. And I got a really, really bad box of Seance once again. I was getting very salty in that video. Salty to the point where I felt like in order to talk about this kind of stuff, I needed to show my face. I needed to show a bit more respect to the subject. So that is why I'm recording this video for you today. But originally I recorded a video opening a really bad box of Seance, and it really got me kind of mad and off the rails when it came to talking about all these talking points. I don't think I'll ever release that video because I wanted to do it a bit more respect and show my face as I talk about this stuff, right? Like show the respect that we should be receiving from MetaZoo in the way that I feel like it should be presented by them in a video apology kind of format. But let me just show you what I mean. So when you open a booster box of Seance, you can see I have a bunch of open cards in here, right? But then I have a bunch of sealed packs because guess what? These sealed packs have nothing in them. They're just reverse hollows. They're worthless. They're worthless packs because when you open Seance, what it is, you open a pack of each of the pack arts, right? So you can see I have a couple of different pack arts here. When you open a pack with a certain pack art, if it doesn't have a full hollow in it, that means every other pack art with that art will not have a full hollow, essentially allowing you to map out the box and know which packs will have the full hollows in it. And this was a huge problem with the launch of Seance. It is, in my opinion, one of the catalysts for the current downward trend of MetaZoo, because this was supposed to be the biggest set. This was supposed to be a set to blow everything else out of the water. The art was awesome. The hype for it was unreal. So to have a problem where people are getting their booster boxes and the pack opening experience was soured so much because there were tons and tons and tons of people that were getting booster boxes with almost all reverse hollows. And they're not worth a lot at all, the reverse hollows. And even the full hollows that we were getting, if you were getting a soured box, the full hollows were almost also worthless because the big hit cards tended to be clumped into a single box where you'd get like 5, 6, 7, 8 hit cards in a single box, and then there were a ton of people that were getting boxes with no full hollows. Like it was a complete catastrophe, right? And the biggest issue with this was it wasn't just mappable by the booster box, it was mappable by the case. So if you opened a case of booster boxes, meaning like multiple booster boxes in a single box, you open that singular box, you open a booster box and you do the pack test, whatever you got in that booster box would be true for every other booster box in that case. So you came to this scenario where, let's just say a big seller of this, if they really wanted to, I'm sure the really big ones didn't care, they just sold the booster boxes, but if you were like a mid to low tier MetaZoo seller, what was stopping somebody from opening a case or two, checking the packs, and then, and by the way, I'm not saying anybody that I bought from did this, I know for a fact they would not do this, but if you were able to map out a case and know which booster boxes were going to be bad, get rid of those. And if you opened a case and the really good cards were in those packs, you knew the rest of the case would also be quite as good. And it destroyed the secondary market. People were starting to sell these boxes lower and lower and lower because it was just super risky to buy on the secondary market for Seance. So let me role play for you the type of video, or heck, even not even video, maybe that's going too far for MetaZoo at the moment. Let me just role play for you the type of apology we should have gotten, right? So here we go. Hey guys, I hope you've been enjoying the Seance launch. I know a lot of you are really enjoying the art and the new abilities and stuff that the cards bring to the game on a competitive side. We do need to address the elephant in the room though. As many of you know, we did experience a manufacturing error with Seance where certain boxes are weighted more heavily than others when it comes to the hit cards known as the Hateful Eight. There are some people that are getting booster boxes that contain no full hollows. And listen, we understand your frustration and we really sincerely apologize. We hope that going forward, you can continue to trust us, and we will absolutely do our best to make sure this never happens again with future MetaZoo product. It's a blunder on our part, and all we can do is say we're really sorry, and we hope that your Seance launch could still have been as fun as possible despite the issues with clumping and production that we will do a much better job on in the future for oversight. So thank you again, and we do apologize and look forward to the future of MetaZoo where we will make sure to never make this mistake again. Right? What's so hard about that? Instead, what happened was, and I saw this with my own eyes in the Discord, when Seance came out and people started to notice that packs were mappable, booster boxes, cases were mappable, they're like, hey, can you address, what the mapping in Seance and what's going to be done about that? Instead of them actually addressing it or even replying, the people that were asking these questions or bringing up the fact that Seance was mappable were actually just getting their comments either deleted or they were getting timed out or possibly even banned. I don't want to speak on the ban part, but I definitely remember seeing people's messages get deleted or timed out. And I'm like, man, that's weird, right? If I were the creator of not even just a card game, but if I released something that had such a major blunder, wouldn't you have to release like some kind of statement considering how much of this product is out there? And they knew, they essentially, this was like when Seance first launched, when people were still buying the product. They didn't want people buying the product to know that boxes were mappable and that this problem existed. And they were suppressing this big issue, in my opinion. Instead of just coming out and apologizing for it, it was suppressed. Like, what? That's the moment when my excitement for MetaZoo started to have a downtrend. And if you look at the history of my channel, you'll notice I covered all kinds of MetaZoo. I did a bunch of Seance videos, and then I really didn't do much for native because Topps Chrome came out. And my excitement for native, I've had a couple of booster boxes for native sitting around here since it came out. I was one of the people that got it early. I could have done a video I could have been one of the first people to do a native booster box opening, but man, by then my enthusiasm for MetaZoo had dwindled. I was just waiting to see if these boxes were also like mapped or if they were clumped or, I lost a lot of enthusiasm. Instead, I was enjoying opening Topps Chrome, which released way too close to native, by the way. I guess they didn't have complete say in when Topps released Topps Chrome, but I feel like a lot of the wind of native was taken out by Topps Chrome. Topps Chrome having its own issues, by the freaking way. Let me just say one thing on Topps Chrome. Those hobby boxes, whoever was in charge, whether this was MetaZoo or Topps or whoever was in charge of deciding that the $100 plus, whatever the heck they were going for a launch, hobby boxes could potentially have no hit cards in them. What were you thinking? I feel like if you're buying a $100 hobby box, that thing had better have at least one serialized card. How the heck did the cheaper blaster boxes that you can get from Target have 2 or more hit cards in them for a fraction of the price? Like, why would you ever buy a hobby box? And this is why those freaking things were on sale during Black Friday through certain outlets for like $25 to $30 each. because nobody wants them. The market has crashed on those. So even the tops market for MetaZoo is crashing right now. It's not just the mainline sets, because people are losing confidence in the just the distribution of the hit cards in these darn things. But anyway, let's not get off on a tops tangent here too much. So yeah, it was in this moment when I was just noticing that MetaZoo, the things that they should be addressing and apologizing for, they weren't doing it. And that kind of worried me. Let's see. We went over streamer kits. We went over the new no YouTube presence, no PR presence. MetaZoo, hire somebody that does this stuff for you, right? You need to shake up your team. You may have people that are working for you that are your friends, and you just have a really hard time letting them go. But apparently there are some people that are just not pulling their weight, right? Like, how do you not have somebody that handles PR or the Discord? Or you need somebody that addresses people's concerns. And I feel like if you could just get stuff out on time when promised, and you can get somebody that helps quell concerns through a more professional means, whether that's through just issuing text-based stuff through Discord, or better yet, YouTube channel. There is a TCG that I follow. I'm just going to name it. Originally, I wasn't going to name it, but I feel like this is the perfect time to bring it up. A lot of you probably know the Pokemon content creator A-Drive. I'm not going to get in, like some of you, whatever. That's not the point about A-Drive himself, but he runs a TCG by himself called Alestrals. And this guy, his work drive is through the roof. It is run by him. He has contractors that he hires, and maybe by now he's hired like a couple of people that do his some stuff for him. But the point I'm trying to make here is he makes like a weekly, at least once a week or every other week, he makes an update video, full transparency, like talking about delays in shipment and why something may not get there on time, or any kind of like refunds that they need to issue because of problems, or any time. Like, even I had an issue because I collect Alestrals, and I said, man, shipping is really high on these packs that you're about to release here and do pre-orders for. And he actually addressed that stuff. Not only did he reply to me in the comment, but he addressed it in the next video, because a couple of people brought this up, talking about why shipping prices were the way they were, yada yada. A lot of people have this issue with MetaZoo's website where they feel like shipping is astronomically high for what they're getting. MetaZoo is silent. You never hear a word from MetaZoo. MetaZoo should look at Alestral's YouTube channel seriously and study it. That is how you run a new indie TCG. Yes, you might not think of yourselves as indie because you're in Target, you're in Walmart. Look at Alestral's YouTube channel. Look at what A-Drive does. Look at how he informs his community. Look at how he provides updates, and follow that model. Just hire somebody to do that for you, and you'll quell a lot of the issues of MetaZoo. All right. Now, here's something else. I am not a competitive player, okay? But there's something going on right now in the competitive scene for players that has upset a lot of people. I'm not going to speak too much on this because I don't want to misspeak on something that I'm not following too closely. But recently, the big Casters Cup, which is like the once a year event where they were supposed to have like $1 million prize pool, was just inexplicably canceled, indefinitely delayed, without an official announcement, kind of at the last minute. There was an announcement, but it wasn't like an actual announcement. It was just like a comment put in the Discord. And there's a lot of people that are upset. A lot of people feel like things are just completely being pushed to the wayside, maybe because of this Hello Kitty thing, which kind of pushed tickets place. There was also something else that went on during New York Comic Con, where that's where like Casters Cup, or one of the biggest tournaments, was supposed to be held, I believe. And people had booked plane tickets, hotel tickets. They took time off from work to go to this event, costing a lot of people a lot of money. And then right at the last minute, they pulled a rug out from under them, and they're like, yeah, it's not happening. We're doing Hello Kitty instead. And a lot of people were like, well, I can't get a refund on my plane ticket. I can't get, I took time off for this. Like, I planned for this. And then, like, really not long before it was supposed to happen, like, I think it was like a few weeks, a month, whatever the heck it was not a big warning. They're like, yeah, it ain't happening. You shouldn't have, I'm paraphrasing here, but the comment to some degree was something along the lines of like, we never guaranteed this was going to happen, or something just completely uncalled for. And a lot of people are upset in the player scene. There's still people that are owed money from the Dark Tower event, which was a competitive scene where there are people that are still unpaid. And this was something like 8 weeks ago. So there's still people waiting quite a long time to receive their payments, their prize money that most other tournaments would have already sent by now. And there's no word on it. Whenever they inquire about it, it's radio silence. They've apparently been reached out to for their PayPal email or something, but that was weeks ago and nothing has been said since. Like, what's so hard? Just send the money. It can't be that many money that are getting people that are getting paid, right? Like, shouldn't that be the priority, to make sure that your players are happy and get them their darn prize money? Anyway, there's just so many things going on with MetaZoo right now. Like, let me just go through this list, make sure I hit up everything. All right, I guess it's time to touch on war, and let me just check this roadmap here. Good lord, like this thing. All right, let's just finish this freaking roadmap before we move on to the next thing. We talked about the streamer kits. Glitch Bit Arcade series. It was supposed to be an arcade machine that I talked about in my video, talking about like hyping up MetaZoo. That thing has never come to fruition. Who knows if it's even still happening? That was supposed to be out in April. Revive Native, I believe that has never happened. HeroQuest 3.0. HeroQuest 2.0 is a bit of a disappointment for a lot of people, I feel, even for me looking back on it now. Those cards have kind of fallen off a cliff in terms of like desirability for people. But let's not get into that too much. HeroQuest 3.0 never happened. Apparently the partnership with that is also kind of like in limbo. Book 1, the book never happened. Another thing that I was hyping the hell out of, never happened. Apparently it's been replaced as of right now with a manga, which is... The manga is a little... Like, I have hope that it'll get a little bit better, but a lot of the art's subjective, right? But it feels like a lot of that manga is really rushed. I feel like the artist needs more time to grow. Let's just say that the manga is not going to do what I think they're hoping it's going to do. It's a step in the right direction to build the lore and the story of MetaZoo. A lot of people would definitely read a manga instead of a book, but I was looking forward to that book personally. Something that was being hyped up beyond belief. Like we were going to get a collector set and stuff. That never happened. What is this other thing here? Oh, the shorts. Something else I was hyping up, where we were supposed to get animated shorts, like a little mini TV show of, in a way. They were like gonna be looking for voice actors on that, and that never happened. What happened to the animated shorts? Gone. No word. That was supposed to happen in July. War was supposed to come out in August. That's not happening. That's pushed back to who knows when. MetaZoo Online TCG client. They're kind of delivering on this. It was supposed to be out in September. That didn't happen yet. They're sending out like beta invites for people to get in on it as of right now. I'm still waiting for my invite. Hopefully it comes soon. So like understandably, right, like making a video game, there are going to be delays with that. I'm not going to hold them too much to that, and they are getting people into it to play in the beta, so it's a step in the right direction. I still feel like the online client is going to be one of the best things they can really start pushing. The SCP set is supposed to be out in October. That never happened. That was pushed back and delayed because of Hello Kitty. A Halloween set that was supposed to be out in October but wasn't out in October and instead started shipping in November and December. Typical MetaZoo. MetaZoo Streamer Kits 2.0. Yeah, let's just bypass that one. MetaZoo 7 Seas was supposed to start in December in our transition over to the Yokai set. Obviously, that didn't happen. So Hello Kitty pushed back Legacy, it pushed back War. Hello Kitty did a lot to disrupt the MetaZoo timeline here. I don't think it's going to pay off for them personally. Legacy, for those that don't know, is being released in spellbook form, where it's going to have code cards to play the TCG client. So understandably, I mean, they may not want to release that until the client is like fully ready to go, but you can still release the packs with the codes, and people could just hold on to the codes for when the client is released and use them when they're ready. But in other news, they're releasing yet another mini set that they just announced like yesterday or the day before or whatever. It'll be the first product to have code cards for the TCG client. So that means that we got to wait for another mini set to come out before Legacy comes out. Something else that I was hyping the heck out of. And then eventually War will come out. These sets will have art from the MetaZoo artists that have left. But after War, that's going to be the make or break for MetaZoo for sure, because that's when all the old artists will no longer have art in these sets. Whatever happened to Arby's, by the way? I guess that's still coming. There was an Arby's collaboration, among many other things. I think MetaZoo just needs to take a step back and maybe hold off on some of these collaborations with like energy drink companies, clothing companies, jewelry companies, skateboard companies. Like, just hold off a moment and use some of that money and marketing budget to just try a different approach. Maybe for once, just try sending some overstock product. Take your warehouses of wilderness and UFO boxes and seance boxes. Find some content creators that maybe don't even cover trading card games, and maybe they just cover other hobbies, toys, games, whatever, geek culture in general, and just send them a box of wilderness, seance, UFO, the stuff that you have tons of, Cryptid Nation 2, 2nd edition. Send them a box and be like, hey, no videos required, but check this product out. If you like it, we'd love to, maybe collaborate with you more. No need to make a video though, just, hey, we wanted to send this to you. And believe me, if some people that don't know MetaZoo get MetaZoo and they look at it and they really like it, they might start making videos. Send it to them for free. Do a little bit of like poking and prodding around in different avenues. Don't keep sending, not that they're really sending free product anymore, but you gotta like, don't send free product to MetaZoo content creators right now. Now is not a good time because it's a bubble. Why are you gonna even, which I don't think they're really doing, to be honest with you, they're not really sending free product out to anybody that makes MetaZoo content, to my knowledge. They're still buying MetaZoo to make MetaZoo content, but go out into different like realms, right? Like try and spread MetaZoo to people that are unaware of it, have audiences that are unaware of MetaZoo. Why send product to people that already make MetaZoo content? The people watching that content already know what MetaZoo is, right? So, man, this was a mouthful of a video. I had a feeling it was going to be quite long. I hope it wasn't too ranty. I hope I offered real constructive criticism and provided a voice for a lot of people out there that want to say these things, but either can't because of their connections to MetaZoo, or can't because they don't have a platform, or can't because they're too afraid to, for getting shut down by MetaZoo. MetaZoo, listen, I appreciate you sending this thing to me. I know this is, I'm sure if they watch this video, and I'm sure they might, this is probably going to exile me from ever receiving anything like a supporter medal or content creator medal or any. This video will exile me and put me on their, essentially their, I don't want to curse on, like, I don't typically curse on my video. It'll put me on their naughty list for the foreseeable future, most likely, because they don't take criticism well. So this is pretty much the nail in the coffin for me with any kind of meaningful relationship with MetaZoo, I feel. But I feel like it needed to be said. I think I needed to address why I haven't made MetaZoo content in half a year. I'm not done with MetaZoo. I still look forward to the online TCG client. If I really like that, I will probably get into Legacy to get some code cards, and I look forward to seeing what they do at War. That is going to be the make or break set, I think, going forward. Even though it's going to feature a lot of artists that are no longer with them. It'll be a good swan song at least. But I just needed to make this video, get this off my chest, and I will be on hiatus from anything having to do with MetaZoo pretty much until Legacy finally starts coming out. If I like the TCG client, I might do some of that, but that's where I'm at with MetaZoo. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. If I made any errors or factual mistakes, or if you need to correct me on anything, that's fine. I did this video unedited in one take, so I'm obviously going to get some facts wrong, so please feel free to correct me. Please do not bash people too hard in the comments. Try to avoid singling out like anybody super specifically at MetaZoo. Let's talk about the general ideas of what's wrong with MetaZoo, but let's not turn this into a targeted bash fest, right? Like there are things that they can improve on a general term, and I think we need to kind of like approach the problem with MetaZoo right now from a very broad and general sort of outlook. So yeah, leave a comment, leave a like, let me know what you guys thought. I don't typically make these kind of videos, so hopefully it doesn't upset too many people. Thanks for watching.